Hello, everyone. This week we are discussing the difference in freedom and liberty in early Western civilization. And for me, I think that has to start with understanding the difference between the two of them as we think of it now. Freedom is the idea of being able to do what you like without control or oversight or permission from anyone else. For example, the right to move freely anywhere you like, say whatever you want to say without interference or consequence. Now, of course, by that definition, no one is truly free because, of course, every society has a set of rules and social norms that we have to follow. And of course, there are consequences for violating any of those rules or social norms. So there are various amounts of freedom that we come to expect. On the other hand, liberty, which goes hand in hand, is the ability to exercise the rights and privileges. Generally, what we're talking about here is individual rights within a society without restriction from government and churches or any other institutions. For example, I absolutely refuse to live in any community with an HOA because I don't want anybody to tell me what I can or cannot do on land that I own. So I'm exercising my liberty and right to control my own land. Now, for most of us here in the United States, freedom and liberty are guaranteed and protected by the Constitution, and that's exemplified in the words of Thomas Jefferson in the Declaration of Independence, where he states the inalienable rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Now, we know these come from John Locke, who got those theories from even older English and Protestant ideas, according to Hanahan in Living Freedom that we read. Now, in many ways, the ideas of freedom that we have mirror Aristotle's concept of freedom and his idea that democratic freedom was living as one wishes and having a share in ruling the office equal. Particularly if you take the attitude that having an equal share of ruling office means the principle of one man, one vote. This is a principle that's central to the English and American landscape politically and how we understand our rights and freedoms and what government should and should not do. Now, liberty tends to be spoken about in different terms. Oftentimes, the principle the liberty tends to be spoken about it as a principle of things that are granted or assumed to be or need to be unrestricted by government. In a letter to Thomas Jefferson, John Adams refers to the English and American liberty and says that those principles of liberty are unalterable as human nature and our terrestrial mundane system. He also links those principles to liberty and to what he calls the general principles of Christianity, which he says are eternal. Which he says are as eternal as the will and immutable as the existence and attributes of God. Now, see, this principle is once again one we saw in Hanahan, which links English speakers together through religion and what he called hymns. But the ideas come from that uniquely English or Anglosphere idea that you are born with certain inalienable rights. Now, because of this, we take those liberties as things that we have the right to do, which is a little bit different from freedom because we're acknowledging we're not free to do everything, but there are some things that cannot be denied, and those things are the liberties that we have. So for us, freedom is the idea of doing what you want to do. Liberty is the idea of being able to control or have the right to exercise certain things without interference from government or anyone else. Okay, well, that is my time. So I want to say thank you, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you again next week, or well, next time we have to record. Bye.